Hey all, Hipper here. So it's finally happened. We've got fleets in World of Warships Legends, and of course I have started my own fleet, and it's called AEGIS, and it means something I haven't really figured out yet, but we'll get there. And of course, to you guys that are already in the clan, just disregard this video. This is just for people who are, thinking about, hey, I might actually join this clan or fleet. So Aegis is an Agile fleet for players who enjoy Agile cruisers. It doesn't mean that we'll only be playing Agile cruisers, but it does mean that you will have to be a good Agile cruiser player. You will have to have the good Agile cruiser ships, and you will have to have the good Agile cruiser captains as a minimum. Other than that, we don't really care. But I'll go through the requirements in this video here, and like I said, if you're already in the fleet, then don't worry about this video. So we really have three sets of requirements here. The first one is the ships you are, you have to have really, because there's a mandatory section and a desirable section. So for mandatory ships, meaning ships that you have to have on your account to become a member of this fleet, the first and most important one is MINOTAUR, and it will be even more important later on in the video. But for now, it's just like, it's a ship you have to have. Same goes for Des Moines. Wichita, it can be the CE version, preferably the CE version, but it can also be just the Wichita version, the Daring, and the Yamato. Like, these are non-negotiable minimum requirements for what ships you need to have on your account. And really, most players who've been playing this game for more than a year will have these ships, so it's not that hard to live up to. Desirable Edinburgh, anyone can get that, just a matter of silver. Colbert, good to have, it's not a requirement. Mines, either Mines or the CE version, good to have. Yoshino, also desirable, it's not a requirement, but it's good to have. And the same goes for Lenin. So that's it for the ships here, and it's really not too bad. MINOTAUR, Des Moines, Wichita, Daring, Yamato, most players have these ships already and has probably already had them for a long time. So this is obviously kind of a niche fleet, this one here. So we have quite a few requirements when it comes to commanders, and all commanders here needs to be 16.4, meaning they're fully upgraded. And the two mandatory commanders that everyone needs to have at level 16.4, meaning level 16 and legendary 4, is Assure Lane Baltimore and Tennant. So Baltimore is American and Tennant is a UK commander. So these are non-negotiable, absolute minimum. So other than having fully maxed Tennant and Baltimore, you will also need two of the commanders on the screen here. And you will need one commander from each row. So for example, you can have Lutyens, Roux, Kincaid, Soundwave, Hot Rod, Mimbelli, or Beebley. If you have one of those fully upgraded at 16.4, that's perfect, that's all you need. But you will also need at least one commander from the bottom row. So it can be Tesla, Takao, Soundwave, and or Rune. And of course Rune is preferred, but it doesn't have to be Rune. So for example, if you have Soundwave, you are already good because Soundwave is in both rows. But most people will probably have, say, Roux at 16.4 and then perhaps Takao at 16.4 as well, and that's perfect, that's all you need. But a minimum one from each row. So the last requirement here is stats, and we're not looking at overall stats. That's way too easy to manipulate, and it doesn't really tell us enough about your specific playstyle. So entry requirements for this fleet is based on your MINOTAUR stats. So you'll have to have played a minimum of 500 standard battles in your MINOTAUR. You will have to have an average XP of 1800 XP in your MINOTAUR. More, of course, is perfect. And then very important here, an average spots of at least 1.8, and that's average. Because like I said, this is a niche fleet, and we need to make sure that everyone who plays an Agile cruiser in this fleet is actually fairly good at it. So 1.8 spots means that you are playing your MINOTAUR with a radar, and if you can do that and have a win rate of 60 plus and an average XP of 1800 plus, that means that you are a spearhead player that plays aggressively, but also gets away with playing aggressively. And you know, that's what we want. And of course, someone who plays Minotaur with a radar. So the purpose of this is to focus in on a very narrow section of players here for this fleet, and we know that. You know, people, like I said, who play Minotaur aggressively, successfully with a radar and do well, and you know, also are able to do well without destroyer support, because that's what the spots tell us. Now, of course, we're not super strict with these numbers here, so if you think you qualify and you're close, then just, you know, send a message anyway. Like, for example, the win rate here. If you average 1800 XP, chances are you're going to have a win rate in the 60s anyway. So it's kind of superfluous, but it's there anyway. So how do you actually apply? Well, really all you have to do is just apply using the in-game functionality in the fleets area, and then send a message with your gamertag, your platform, and a screenie that proves your Minotaur stats, and we'll have a look at it, and we'll see. I cannot promise anything, right? Anyway, so very, very simple, and yeah, really nothing to it. So hopefully the fleet implementation in Legends will be a success. We don't know yet, because it's not rolled out yet, and we can't even play anything fleet related yet, not even after the update. But it's a good start, and we'll see how we go. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you out there.